thunder and whirlwind, an American tall tale. Hi, my name is Allie. I'm playing the cool narrator. I'm Talia, and I'm playing Mike, Bink, and Lucy.
I'm Marin, and I'm playing Sally.
I'm Ben, and I'm playing David Crockett.
I'm Marin, and I'm playing a bear, a preacher, a schoolmom, a blacksmith, and a tree.
This setting is taking place in the backwoods of Tennessee. One early spring day, when the leaves of the white oaks were about as big as a mouse's ear, Davy Crockett set out along through the forest to do some bear hunting. Suddenly, it started raining real hard, and he felt obliged to stop for shelter under a tree. As he shook the rain out of his coonskin cap, he got sleepy, so he laid back into the crotch of the tree, and pretty soon he was snoring. Davy didn't wake up until nearly sundown, and when he did, he discovered that somehow in all that sleeping, his head had gotten stuck in the crotch of the tree, and he couldn't get it out. Well, Davy roared loud enough to make the tree loose, and all its little mouse leaves twisted and turned and carried on for over an hour. But that tree still wouldn't let go. Just as he was about to give up, he heard a girl say, "What's the matter, stranger?" Even from his awkward position, he could still see that she was extraordinarily tall as a hickory sapling, his arms as big as a keelboat's tillers.
My head's up, sweetie, and if you like to get a treat, I'll give you a pretty little comb.
Don't worry about giving me no pretty little comb either. I'll free your old coconut, but just because I want to.
Then this extraordinary girl did something that made Davy's hair stand on the end. She reached in a bag and took out a bunch of rattlesnakes. She tied all the wriggly creatures together to make a long rope, and as she tied, she kept on talking.
I'm not a shy little colt, and I'm not a little singing nightingale neither. I can outscream a panther, jump over my own shadow, and double up crocodiles anything.
Then she pulled on the other end of the snake rope so hard the right hand fork of that tree just bent just about double. Then Davy slid his head out, easy as if you please. For a minute he was so dizzy he couldn't tell up from down. But when he got everything straight again, he took a good look at that girl and said,
What's your name, ma'am?
Sally and Thunder and Whirlwind. But if you mind your manners, you can call me Sally.
From then on, Davy was crazy in love with Sally and Thunder and Whirlwind. He asked everyone he knew about her and everything he heard, because another of Cupid's arrows had jotted in the gizzard. The preacher said,
Oh, I know Sally. She can dance her off to pieces around a panther bareback.
the blacksmith said,
Sally's a good old friend of mine. Once I seen her crack a walnut with her front teeth.
the schoolmarm said,
Sally's so very special. She likes to whip across the Salt River using her apron for a sailor like this.
her best friend Lucy told Davy,
Sally can laugh the bark off a pine tree. Did you hear about the time that Sally was turning butter and heard something scratching outside? Suddenly the door swung open, and in walked Great King Bear from Mudford. He had come to steal one of Sally's smoked hams. Well, before King Bear could say boo, Sally grabbed a warm dumpling from the pot and stuffed it in his mouth. The dumpling tasted so good, the King Bear's eyes filled with tears. But then he started to think that Sally might taste pretty good too. So opening and closing his big old mouth, he backed her right into a corner. Sally was punchy scared with her knees a knocking and her heart a hammering. But just as the King Bear blew his hot breath in her face, she gathered the courage to say, Would you like to dance?
as everybody knows, no bear can resist an invitation to a square dance. So, of course, the old feller forgot all about even Sally and said, Love to. Then he bowed real pretty, and the two got a kicking and whooping and swinging each other through the air, as Sally sang,
We're on our way to Baltimore with 2 behind and 2 before. Around the round we go where boats, bees, and barley grow.
and while she was singing, she tied a from the bear's ankle to her butter churn, so that all the time the old fella was kicking up his legs and dancing around the room, he was also churning her butter. And folks love to tell the story about Sally's encounter with another stinky varmint. Only this one was a human varmint. It seems that Mike thinks the Riverfell ran beside it.
I'm going to scare the tuna off of Sally because I'm sick and tired of Davy Crockett talking about how great she is.
One evening, I went into an old alligator skin and met Sally just as she was taken off to forage in the woods for berries.
I'm going to scare her with a loud howl.
He spread open his gigantic mouth and made such a howl, he nearly scared himself to death. But Sally paid no more attention to that fool than she would to a barking puppy dog.
Okay, I reckon that didn't work, but I'm sure I'll scare her when I reach for her with my giant claws.
However, when Mike put out his claws to embrace her, her anger rose higher than the Mississippi flood. She threw a flash of eye lightning at him, turning dark to daylight. Then she pulled out a toothpick and with a single swing sent the alligator head flying 50 feet. And then to finish him off good, she rolled up her sleeves and knocked Mike Fink clear across the woods and into a muddy swamp.
Ow!
When the fool came, Davy Crockett was standing over.
What in the world happened to you, Mikey? Well, I think I must have been hit by some kind of wild alligator.
Mike Stanford rubbing a sore head. Davy smiled, knowing full well it was Sally Ann's Thunder Ann Grove. That incident caused Cupid's